Mastering your workload is the topic of this particular presentation. Welcome everyone. Let us understand how do we master the workload, the time management that we are looking into it. Steps to manage your time well. What are the steps? You see the time is passing away, the sand is flowing, and you are at the top of it. A person who is at the top of it is doing the mastering the workload altogether. Now, how do we go around it? It is through prioritizing our times, getting ourselves organized, overcoming procrastination. Procrastination is the fact or the feeling that we can defer the work till the last moment because of the fact that we have ample amount of time to complete it. So overcome procrastination, let go of perfectionism altogether. Manage disruptions, avoid taking too much of too time. Now, when I say taking too much off time and off work, so do not overwork yourself, do not overload yourself, do not under time yourself. In fact, you should do the other way around, always under take sufficient or a little less than the sufficient workload. Why? Because it will enable you to work it completely error free, finish it completely error free. We take an extra time before you about a workload. Why? Because if you deliver it on before time, people will get thrilled, and that is what you are going to go around it. Why process a bad image when you can already work on your image and improve upon it? So yes, prioritize tasks, get organized, overcome procrastination, let go of perfectionism, manage disruptions, and avoid taking too much as the case might be. Organize the to-do list that we are looking into it. Look what does the pictograph says. If you do not organize, the to-do list goes on and on and on. So helps you to prioritize, helps you to overcome procrastination. It's a critical starting point, not a standalone tool as the case might be. Yes, what we are looking at it. Definitely the ABCs of prioritizing. I will talk about A, B, and C's of prioritizing, what to do, how to do, and when to do. So write a to-do list. What is there pending? Maybe there might be n numbers of things that comes which is bothering your mind, but probably you're not finding enough amount of effort, energy, or time to finish it, or finish even the partial list of it. So write a to-do list. Best thing which you can do is try to do it. Then review the list and break the list into fragmented part into smaller tasks or activities. Then we'll talk about prioritizing through ABCs, right? Definitely in the subsequent slide, I'll be covering those prioritizing part every now and then so that it becomes enabling you to understand how to accomplish or how to manage your workloads. Delegate those tasks more appropriate to someone else if you can delegate it. In case if you want to do all your tasks by yourself, you are just taking extra workload which might be well done and taken care of. Why spoil your reputation when you can delegate it and get the things done quickly? Schedule your day, week, assign a deadline for each task. Consider your daily cycle. Most demanding tasks when you are most focused, most energy. Some of us are early, very energized early in the morning. Some of us like to burn the midnight oil and they can toil hard around it. So focus on your key and car, the energy schemes that is there within your soul. Which one is it that you can work around it, review it, and let us go with ABCs to prioritizing. A priorities, what are they? They are urgent but not and important. So this is what we are looking into is priorities which are urgent and important. Urgent being time focused, important being activity focused or absolutely task focused. So support a long-term goal, support others you work with, ask what terrible things would happen if I didn't do this thing today. Only top priorities get A categories, which is both urgent, which is require your time focus, and important, which is task oriented. Absolutely. This is the A priorities which can never be missed and has to be done today itself will be done. Then what is B priorities? They are important, not important is task oriented but not urgent, but time, there is a flexibility in the process of the time. So mild consequences for not doing this. Some may be unhappy or inconvenience, but you can manage those things, right? This is not urgent. Time waiting period usually elevates to A or drop to C as the case might be, which is what we are looking into it. Never do a B task when there is an A task. The needs to be finished. When I say B task and A task, is the A priorities and B priorities. Remember, A priorities are not only urgent but are also important. B, on the other hand, is important but may not be urgent as the case might be. That is what we are looking into it. They might have mild consequences for not doing this. That is what needs to be taken care of. Now, let us understand the C priorities, which are neither urgent nor important. So you have flexibility or relaxability in terms of not only in the task wise but also time wise. Sometimes are not important but are urgent. There are people with their things which are very important but not urgent. So no consequences for not doing this. Nice to do. Obviously, find a leisure time, finish it off altogether. All your leisure activities comes around here. Definitely yes. But then there are things which is not important, definitely, but are urgent. Man, probably pertains to your not for your professional life but for your personal life as the case might be. So we have this grid altogether to understand wherein the urgency is plotted on your x-axis and the importance is plotted on your y-axis. Now if you look, we have discussed A, B, C. Now C, which has been talking around it, which is as good anywhere which is not important at all. So let us understand. I'll give you an example. Urgent and important. Pick child at a daycare. Obviously, it is an urgent and important. If you miss that time, the child will get lost. There, for example, important and not urgent. So let's say it's an important. You want to take care of your health, physique. It's a rejuvenation time, not urgent probably. So what happens if you are not going for a morning walk or a morning exercises? Go hit the gym late in the night or the evening. That's a rejuvenation time. But then there are tasks which are urgent and not important. For example, when friends ask a favor. Probably, absolutely. They wants to be picked up, dropped in, asked for money, or probably anything, any help that they are looking into it. So it's basically an interruption, disruption, some calls, mobile. What happened which is neither urgent nor important? Let's say when we spend on time on your social media apps altogether. How do we go around it? What is the trivia? What is the gaming process that comes around every now and then? This is what we are looking into it, right? So gaming and the Facebook app that comes every now and then. So organization. Well, how do we go about organizing? Is getting the big picture. Let's work about the work, which is every quarters, every semester, every cycle, every month, every week, every day. Know your schedule, your task, weekly calendar. Determine how much it takes to complete a various task. Double your estimate. Plan a balanced schedule. Identify odd hours and small bits of time. Plan how you can use them. Schedule time for prioritizing. Schedule breaks and time for rejuvenations. Enter all these while paper, Outlook, and phone apps are coming across it. As in, what we are looking for scheduling is all about here. Now, this can be, and there are productivity apps that is coming up. There are many productivity apps, free apps I'm talking around it. There are many scheduling apps also, so you can bring in a schedule things. Everything will be told around it. We are being flummoxed with smart watches and smartphones, and they will help you out in scheduling. So overcome procrastination. Yes, recognize that you are procrastinating. Recognize the fact that you, despite having a plentiful amount of time, you are not completing a prescribed work altogether. Why? If you have plentiful of time, why don't you complete your work? Remove the to-do list to zero. Try to make the to-do list to zero. But people don't do it. They will again emphasize on the plentiful of time to accomplish the work, and in the process they will defer the work. And that is what procrastination is over and above it. Can we overcome it? Evaluate, diagnose your procrastination. Example, reason, what part of the task. Take countermeasures against procrastination. Use to-do list. Break large tasks into smaller parts. Schedule specific times to do things. Things that you are most likely to put off. Address reasons. Don't like the task. Hard to start. Fear of failure. Reward yourself for starting and finishing as the case might be. Every now and then, as what we are looking forward to it. More procrastination busting tips are creating the right environment. Definitely, yes. Setting up the task. Post your deadlines. Do the fun stuff first. Start somewhere, start anywhere. Beware of multitasking. Know that you can't do everything perfectly as the case might be. Yes, as what you are looking forward to it. Create the right environment. Set up the task. Post your deadline. Do the fun stuff first. Start somewhere. Start anywhere. Beware of multitasking. Know what you can do and what you cannot do, as in what has been expected, as the case might be. This is what is of procrastination is all about it. Yes, we need to look into it. Perfectionism. Beware of your tendencies as to what you are giving importance to. Take an honest look at how you spend your time. Analyze, refrain your tasks, self tasks every now and then. Focus, absolutely focus. Focus on the big picture. Ask what really needs to be done in this particular situation. Is perfection necessary or even better? Maintain high attainable standards. Be realistic about what you can accomplish, what you can seek. Seek help as and when not required. Don't throw back. In fact, I would always love to go around and take all your issues head on. Analyze, frame, reframe, works, rework, focus on the big picture, ask what reality is all about it. So we are talking about managing disruption. Disruptions are often urgent, at least in the mind of the persons presenting them, but not important. Identify recurring interruptions and distractions, learning to say no, be polite, be assertive. But other tips are essentially available, not available. Turn off the instant messaging chat that comes around it, managing disruption. These are the distractions that is absolutely putting you off from the work, from your concentration, right? So set limits with necessary interruptions. Have these 5 minutes. I can do this tomorrow. Whatever you want, whatever comes in your mind, please go on to do around it. Be polite, be assertive, be manage yourself, manage the activities that is taking away from the prioritized work altogether. Remember, more disruption diffusing tips is remind yourself your availability is not equal to your importance. Remember, this is what we need to go around it. Develop phrase that deflect. Got a minute? Intrusion to a later time. Let's say, let us talk at times. Let us address this situation after office hours or after something else. Use modified open door policy as on when on basis. Consider working in another location at times. At sometimes configure your office so that your desk faces a door. Stand up on the entry or intrusive visitors, as in what we are looking into it. Schedule meeting in others people person office. If you schedule it in your office, people are going to linger on, and this people lingering on will only culminate the fact that you will not be able to concentrate on your own work. So it's better that you schedule all your meetings in somebody else's office, because in case somebody wants to linger on, will eventually linger in that particular office and not in your office. So have those modified open door policy. Ensure your office door is absolutely facing the door, so that need not people needs to communicate, can communicate swiftly, quickly through the door itself. Open the door, they'll speak, and they do not need to come in, sit down, and have those pleasantries that needs to be exchanged every now and then. So avoiding taking too much. Did I say do not take a too much of an overload? And this is the picture that will actually tell it to you. Avoid, set no, say no, no to extra work. Yes to extra time, but not to extra work. Learn to set limits, learn to say no, learn to delegate, learn to share your work, and let others work for you. Help, seek help. Not talking about the SMART goals, we are talking about SMART, which stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time. Now, what are goals that we are looking into it? Remember, specific precise goal which we need to accomplish as to what has been expected, what you are going to do. Measurable is the criteria to gauge. Remember, everything that can be measured can be managed. So until and unless the work is manageable, the goal is manageable, you cannot measure it. Absolutely. Attainable is, yes, you should set up a goal which is a wee bit beyond your capacity, but then it should be accomplished. But then you should can put an outer all and out effort probably to attain it or achieve it. So if the goal is achievable, nothing wrong with it. But don't put up an unrealistic goal altogether, a goal which is absolutely not attainable altogether. Now, why do I use the word not attainable? Because then it will automatically demotivate you. procrastination will automatically creep in, as in I will already know that I cannot achieve the goal, so why make an effort in the first place? So that is what attainable. The goal has to be attainable, measurable, and specific. Now let us understand with relevance. Relevance about the balance of the goals, the personalization of the goals, how you value the goal yourself. Is it relevant with your own objectives, your own values, your own needs, your own talents? If it is so, you will try go out or with all vigor and all efforts. Time, beginning point, and deadlines. Get yourself started. Keep yourself tracked. Now, goals has to be solidified with a milestone that needs to be tracked every now and then, and that is what goals would be all about. It keeps you on track. Use small bits of time or orders, waiting time, handle paper, email. The final tips that trying to tell about it: give enough rest, eat well, sleep well, exercise well, solicit cooperation as on when on required, use automatic system when possible, where to do, how to go. At the end of the pic, if you want to see it, we don't have so many hands. Approximately 5 hands have been showing it to you. You cannot do it. Remember, we have only 2 hands, but most importantly, one brain. So even if we end up doing 5 things, not all the things will be perfect, and that is going to mar our reputation. And let us believe the fact that we need to manage our workload, because once we start managing our workload, our reputation gets managed automatically. Nobody wants to have a dent on their reputation altogether. So make a plan for today. Remember, the bad news is the time flies. The good news is when you are the pilot that comes around it. Yes, manage. Make a plan today, manage your workload for success, be it your school, work, life, whatever it comes around it. Manage your time to reduce stress, manage your time to enhance work-life balances. This is what we are going around it. When the good news are going around, that means you are in the pilot position and you are driving the seats. And that is what I will see by managing workload. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.